There's not many golfers who don't want to hit the ball a little further, right? Especially with the driver, but pretty much any club. The problem is, the way most people think they need to get more distance is actually robbing them of distance. There is easier ways to squeeze out a few more yards, but you have to first let go of some big myths. And today I'm going to share 5 of them. Some of them you may have heard of, and a couple I know are going to shock you. The one we're leading with is probably one of the oldest and common. And it's related to having too much tension. I talk about having too much tension in your swing, and that was almost going to be one of my myths, but it isn't a myth to say you've got to be tense. It's just what happens. But something that kills distances is too much tension. And number 1 myth of you've got to keep your head down, whether it's on the backswing or on the through swing, is pretty much only going to yield less speed, less distance, because it's going to restrict your golf swing, especially if you don't have as much mobility as you used to. Because, right, the head here, we might want it to stay pretty stable. We want the nose to kind of stay pretty much stable, even though you'll see a few swings go up and down a little bit. That's fine. We can have a little bit of movement. You know, 9 times out of 10, show me a golf swing where people are, as they're trying to strike through, the head is like trying to look at the ball here. Everything else stops, and the hands just pass through, and we try and shove it that way. Not only does keeping the head down on the downswing and through impact cause restrictions, on the backswing as well. If I keep my head down, or actually move it down, it really does sort of cause too much restriction. It's not that my swing's short, more on that later, but I don't have any room to sort of move freely. If I was just to throw this club, or if I wanted to have an effortless flowing swing, I wouldn't be keeping my head dead straight and rigid and always looking at the ball, like keeping it locked. I would keep my eye on the ball, but I would allow my neck, my chest, my body to allow that movement. So myth number 1, do not keep your head down. Doesn't mean that you have to let it move all over the place, but just try and feel like you keep it steady and smooth, but allow it to move with your neck, because we don't want strain here. So keeping that in mind, next time you have a little swing, even if it's just a half swing, just feel like, okay, I'm just allowing my head to move where I want. You'll notice a difference just with that alone. Before we go and find my drive, I thought I'd just share number 2. Again, it comes down to tension really, and trying to avoid it. We want flow and freedom. We want the arms to be following what the body wants to do, allowing gravity to assist us, all right? And also understanding what your body can realistically do. And one of the myths that people seem to think they need to do to create like width in their swing and power is to have a straight left arm, lead arm. Why do people think that? Because it's going to lead to a wider backswing, okay, and this wider follow through. Now there are truths to this to some degree, but the myth that I want to dispel for, you know, a huge amount of you is that your body isn't going to facilitate that very easily. And trying to be rigid and keep this firm, sort of locked, only creates restriction. Restriction on the backswing and restriction on the through swing. If I lock this dead straight, okay, just humor me. You can even try it. Get up and try it with a club if you want to. I'm going to lock this dead straight with my arm. Now I'm going to try and move, keeping my arm unit and club, you know, as straight as possible. I'm going to move the backswing and through swing, keeping this all together as quick as I can. Okay, that's me moving as quick as I can, keeping that dead straight. That wasn't particularly fast, but it was a heck of a lot of effort. Now, if I just allow my arm to be more supple, all right, feeling like the arm feels heavy, that I've got a good hold on the club, but I'm just going to allow it to move backwards. If there's a little flex in it, that's fine. If it's straight, that's fine, but it is not rigid and locked. But by having this suppleness with structure, immediately doing the same pace of swing, same intention, but being looser in my lead arm, I'm going to do the same swing, so much more speed, much less effort. So when you're setting up to the ball and you're thinking, I've got to, get wide here and wide here, be very wary whether you have tension, especially in that lead arm. We don't want to lock it out. Yes, you might see Bryson and the long drive guys, and there are truths to this, but be wary that suppleness, firm hold of the club, suppleness coupled with width and momentum is going to yield much better results, especially as you get older. Let's go and find my ball. This myth is perhaps the most important one that I have to break. I explain it to people every week, whether in playing lessons, friendly games, online lessons, whatever, because people need to hear it and understand it. And using something like the full swing kit, which I use in lessons, or students have got it and had great results, because I love this because it's simple to use. The app is very simple to use, the data is accurate, and you don't get overwhelmed with it. Simple is good, right? So I'm going to demonstrate this in a couple of shots, and I'm using the full swing kit here. So whether you're practicing at home or just whipping it out on the course, it can give you that feedback so you can learn and go, aha, and you adapt, right? So let me hit one shot here and let's see if you can notice a bit of a difference in the two swings and hopefully the results. Okay, I'm kind of exaggerating a bit here, but hopefully you get the general gist. What you can see there, I hit two swings and one was a lot of work. The speed, I was trying to get as much club head speed as possible. The second one was effortless, just making sure I made a nice contact and hitting the ball on the green. There was like 10 yards difference, okay? And we can actually look on the app a little bit here. So it showed me 10 yards difference. The first one though, my swing speed was significantly faster with the first one that I hit here. It was 91. And then the second one was 87, all right? So the swing speed was much higher. But on the second one, the smash factor is higher, but the carry is the main one that I'm looking at, all right? That's what is my main point here. Having a nice sequence, having a nice smooth swing that you can deliver and hit out the center of the face is going to deliver the better yardage, the more distance, the more accuracy, but the more distance. It's not about just trying to swing faster, more club head speed. Everyone wants to do these training programs that give you more club head speed. It's not always going to work if you don't have a good sequence. So stop trying to swing faster and harder. Work on a nice, smooth, efficient sequence and you will hit it further. It's not a myth that we're getting older. Every day, just a little bit older. And generally, despite some of our efforts, our mobility starts to let us down a little bit. But if you watch a lot of the golf on TV, the tour pros, or instruction magazines, or even on YouTube, a lot of it is about you've got to make a big and a long swing to be able to get that distance, because the longer the club can travel, the more speed it can garnish. Yes, perhaps, potentially, you see the big long drive guys, most of them are up here. But there are outliers, and that's important to remind you of. Just a couple, John Rahm, nice short swing. Tony Finau, very, very short. They are younger. They're younger than me, that's for sure. So how does swinging shorter benefit someone that's over 50, 60, 70, or any age really? What it's going to do is in keeping with what I've discussed, especially in the last one, which was a better sequence. A better swing, better contact is going to yield the most amount of distance. And what happens is when people are trying to swing longer, that sequence becomes all sort of out of whack, and the contact a lot of the time becomes inconsistent. That delivery into the ball, that compression goes, whether it's with an iron or whether it's with a driver. It's all about that good contact. So how do you know what's optimal for you? Very easy test, okay? I'm just going to let the club go. We're going to take my setup position, and what I'm going to do, put my trail arm behind my back, and I'm going to allow my lead arm to swing, and I'm going to make a bit of a turn. So notice how I'm allowing my hips, the belt buckle, my butt cheeks are kind of moving. I'm making a backswing, but I'm not forcing myself. You can hear my voice, there's no tension, there's very freedom, but I've wound up, and my arm will get to about here. Any further than that, it starts to compress my voice a little bit and I can feel a little bit of tension. That here is actually my optimal top of backswing, believe it or not. And most people's are around here. And you think, well, I can't just swing from here to here. The thing is, even if you try to swing from here to here, if you've got suppleness and you're following the other things I told you, especially, your swing won't just stop here. Momentum will take it a little bit further, which is plenty long enough, okay? So after you do that test and you notice that you're only getting to about here, you think, well, how am I going to hit the ball hard? How am I going to hit the ball fast from such a short swing? With suppleness and with a nice transition that gives you time and delivers the ball back, it doesn't mean I have to swing faster. It doesn't mean because I'm short, I have to go quickly. It just means we're trying to be efficient. So if everything does feel like, hey, I'm just hitting these like half swings, if it feels like that, great, I don't care. If the results are good, if you're getting nice strikes on the shots, that's all that matters. If it feels effortless, that's the key. Because I promise you, your average distances are going to be much further than what they are now. The final myth is that less loft is going to send the ball further. May be true, but not across the board. Long drive guys, you know, long hitters using 5 degrees, 6 degrees. I use maybe like 9.5 to 10.5 variable. Now the 3-wood is 15 degrees, okay? And I'm going to show you something here. I'm going to try and demo this to prove my point. Now I'm going to try and make a couple of swings at around, you know, just 90 miles an hour, something like that. I'm going to try and match the swings, but I'm going to use one with a driver and one with a 3-wood. Hopefully it's going to turn out my main point. And it isn't you should hit 3-wood. I'll get to it in a second, but let's see if I can just kind of do a little swing here, right? Just trying to nudge it forward and see what comes out. So we had like 93, 186 yards, okay? Now I'm going to try and do the same here. Remember, it's a longer club, but I'm going to try and do the same swing speed, same kind of swing, and just nudge it, okay? What swing speed did I have there? Moderately similar. What I've shown you there is, it's not about 3-wood versus driver, it's loft versus loft. With a slower swing speed, with a bit more loft, you're going to get more distance, especially carry. Now, if you've got a swing with a driver that's slower than 100 miles an hour, I want you to really look at increasing the loft of your driver. Make sure, like with PXG, we have, you know, it will say on here, and it's adjustable, like a lot of other leading drivers are. Just with having perhaps 12, 13 more degrees of loft, that's going to give you more carry distance. And it's going to go further without doing a single thing different. So if you want to think of it as like a 2-wood, maybe, we're about 12, 13 degrees aloft, you're going to hit your driver further with a slower swing speed. Now, I'm not a robot. I'm not going to get it perfect every time. I was just trying to roughly demonstrate similar swings and the different distances. So test it out. I promise you, you're going to really love it. Now, if you want to simplify your short game, you need to check out this lesson here. It's going to give you 3 steps that make pretty much every shot you're going to face around the greens that much easier and improve your confidence. Thanks for watching this video. Go back and watch each single piece and let me know if you have any questions. Cheers.